Okay, so here's the way we kind of work this whole system. This kind of breaks it down for you. I know, Steve, I don't know if you've seen this before. This is something
No.
that, yeah, this is something that Justin Chamness put together. And it basically allows you, especially while we're doing the role plays, I like to keep it up on the screen because it sort of gives you a score sheet that you can kind of walk through to see that you're doing all of the things that are prescribed as part of the gut system. So there's three rules that we operate by for the most part, and that is always set the agenda, let them know why you're calling and how it's going to go, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Rule number two, you've got 3 minutes to qualify or disqualify the prospect. Now, normally, believe it or not, 3 minutes is usually enough time for you to actually get that done. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it goes even faster. But you want to get them qualified and let them know what it is that you want to accomplish, and then within that 3 minutes, you must fire an unqualified prospect. If you've heard Claude says we have but one job, and that is to make money today. So we don't waste a whole bunch of time if a person isn't qualified, and we figure it out real quick whether or not there's something we can do with them. Then we have our motivation level from 1 to 10. Obviously, 1 being not motivated at all, not that interested in what it is that we have to talk about. So we don't want to waste any time on that person, really. In some cases, they might be worth a follow-up. Like they might say something like, I want to try to sell it myself for a couple of weeks or something. And at that point, their motivation for what you have is low, but it could change real quick if they don't start getting activity and some bills and stuff start to take place down the road. So you might put them on a follow-up. Other ones will be like, yeah, nope, I'm not interested, or yeah, I'll do it, but I want $75,000 down. Yeah, okay, bye.
Right.
So and then when we're in the conversation, here are basically the sections of the conversation. Now, the important thing is the only thing that you're going to do last is the closing. Everything else we kind of work through in the process. The roadmap. This is the agenda portion, which we want to kind of do right up front. The roadmap. Mr. Seller, I saw you had your house for sale. Look, I'm an investor in your area, and I'm looking to buy a house today. So if I can ask you a few questions, you can ask me a few questions, and if we have a fit, are you ready to do business today? Great. Okay. And also, I want to give you permission. If I say something that is outside of what it is you're trying to accomplish, feel free to fire me. And that's where you get the permission to fire you. And then you say, why are you selling? What is the reason that you're selling the property? They'll tell you whatever. How soon do you need to be out? And then you kind of get like, okay, well, if I could give you those things today, are you ready to move forward with me? That's a commitment, right? And okay, can we talk about the money? How much do you want for the property? And like I said, they don't always happen in the order that I'm doing them right now, but they do happen in a particular order. And then obviously we do the recap, solve and satisfy their problem, ask any closing questions, and confirm and change any of the terms that we came up with that are not agreeable. It's like we lost Steve for a second. And then close it up. So do we have any volunteers? Anybody want to do some role play with me today? I can go with someone, or you guys can go together, however you want to do it. Waylon, you want to play the game a little bit, my friend?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. You want to be the seller, or you want to be the buyer?
I'll be the buyer this time. Then.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So let's do this. You want to set something up, or you want to play it as we go?
I will play as we go, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So ring ring.
I'm gonna leave this up right here and so that you can kind of use it as a guide in order to, sort of see what it is that we're doing and where you are in the process and that sort of thing. I find that it's a really good tool.
I do.
Okay. Hello?
Hi. Is this Victor?
Yep, this is Victor.
Hi, Victor. You wouldn't have a house for sale on 123 Main Street, do you?
I do.
Oh, awesome. I'm always a dollar short, a day late. So, it's awesome to know that you actually do have a house for sale. Now,
Yeah, yeah, man. I still have it. I still have it.
now,
Yeah,
my name is Waylon. I buy houses, and is it okay if I ask you some questions and you ask me some? And if we don't like each other, we can always, say goodbye, and we can still be friends, right?
yeah. Let's do it.
That's awesome. So, if your house was sold, where would you be moving next?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. Actually, I'm looking to move out of state. I'm gonna go join my kids and stuff. They're down in San Diego. So I'm in Fontana right now, but I'm gonna be moving. I want to move down to San Diego, be closer to my kids.
Wow, that is awesome.
Hmm.
So, how soon do you look to move close to your kids? How long have you been thinking about moving close to your kids?
Um, hmm. I've been thinking about it for a while, actually. I have a couple of grandkids that are 3 and 1, and I don't want to not see them, especially during the toddler years.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
3 and 1, the kids grow so fast. It's like, all of a sudden they just poof up, like magic,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Before long, they'll be starting college.
But, so, since that this is something that you've been thinking about, is this something that you think you wanted to move in the next, couple of months or year or two?
Well, I actually have some place that I am looking to move into. I'd like to be able to get in there by the beginning of September.
Beginning of September.
Yeah, so about 30 days.
Wow, that's so how long have you been trying to sell your home?
Oh, I just actually put it on the market. It's been on the market about 20 days.
Wow, it's been on the market for 20 days.
Yeah, 20 days.
Wow. So
Mhm.
how has it been going? Like was it going pretty well?
Well,
A lot of offers?
I think unlike most people, I've been getting a bunch of calls from investors like you,
Uh-huh.
trying to lowball me and give me um, almost nothing for my property, which I'm not desperate like that. I mean, I'll rent it out before I give it away.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's awesome that you're being smart and trying to protect your equity because most people, I mean, if they don't care, obviously, they would have, sold the home already, right?
yeah,
But for most people, they all work hard for their money, and nobody
yeah,
wants to
and,
just
and,
lose
and
money
that's
for
it. I've worked hard for it, and I'm not giving it away.
I hear ya. So, how long do you think you want to try to sell before you actually, would consider renting out your property?
Oh, if it's not sold by the middle of the month or so, then I'm gonna probably start shifting gears into advertising or something for a renter.
So, Victor, you mentioned that there were a few real estate investors that called you, and they were trying to lowball you.
Yeah.
I mean, and I just excuse me for a little bit. If you don't mind, would you please let me know, like, what is a lowball number to you?
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, my house is worth 450, and they're offering me something in like 200 250, something like that for the house, and that's not going to happen.
So, in your, how did you came out with the number of 450 to begin with?
Oh, I checked, the websites, the Zillows and the Redfins and some of the other stuff that's out there. I had realtors drop stuff at your door all the time. So I've kind of seen what some of the other houses have sold for, and it's for 450 is fair. It's actually on the lower end of what people are asking for in the area for the same house.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, if that's is there is your house like completely like ready to move in, or is it like, are there a lot of stuff that needs to get fixed?
Oh no, it's pretty much turnkey. All I need to do is, when I move out, I'll clean the carpets. I only have carpet in the bedrooms and stuff. Everything else is hardwood floors, which are all less than 5 years old.
Wow. So then, there's basically no major repair, that may be needed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, you mentioned that you mentioned that, you may even consider renting it out before you sell it. So, approximately how much, is the market rent in your area?
About 23.
About 23 would be a fair market rent. I see. Now, you know, so if that's a, we can help you move to San Diego like next week, you know, what would be a ideal amount? I mean, do you look for, a full payment, one lump sum, or are you looking to get payments?
Um, Actually, that's a pretty good question, and the reason why I say that is because um, it's kind of like winning a lottery, right? Do you want to take all the money right now and get taxed at the maximum, or do you want to? And I've actually been struggling with that. Uh, I don't know what do you got in mind.
I mean, most people, they are just, the reason that most people, they tend to make less money in the long run is all because like they want to take cash, upfront, and let it be lottery or let it be houses. When people have problem, they feel that they have the urgencies to move forward, they tend to lose some in equity. And
Okay.
thus, I feel like, if you feel like you want to have a more of a safe protection in the long run, it might be actually a better idea if we can just maybe rent your house for now, and then take, or maybe or maybe purchase your house, using financing, using payment methods, so then you actually get payments every month, instead of just one lump sum and getting tax heavy.
Okay. You said a lot right there. It kind of confused me a little bit.
Absolutely.
How would that work? I mean, what are you saying?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I have a tendency to speak a little bit more than than most people. Yeah, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Oh no,
But
that's okay. If you want to just let me know what do you have in mind.
so, how about, how much would it cost for you to move to San Diego? Let's say
Um, well, pack up, um, a couple grand.
a couple of grand.
Yeah.
All right. So, if I could give you like about, if I could give you like about, how much you said that the rent was again? I'm sorry. It was
Mhm.
2,300, right?
Yeah. That's what they're getting in this area for the rest, 2,300.
So, suppose if I could, you know, take care of. the monthly payments and pay you 2,300 for the market rent, and on time every month, and I will also make sure that you don't have to take care of any maintenance over 500. I mean, less than $500. Would it be okay if I have would it be okay if I put like $300, credit towards the down payment of this house?
Um, yeah, then that really gives me $22,000 a month. I'm not really with the credit part. And you mentioned something about maintenance under 500. What happens with maintenance over 500?
Well, because if we're renting your property right now, we're just trying to eliminate most of the hassle that a landlord would have typically. And so I will make sure I'll be your perfect tenant. I'll take care of all the maintenance.
Are
And,
you are you are you the one moving in?
um, I may or may not. It depends. Like I said, I haven't checked out the property, but once we have a even better idea, I can definitely give you a more concise answer on that.
Um, okay. Well, okay. Off the role play.
Mhm.
So we're kind of getting bogged down. So you at this point right now, you want to try to see, because you've kind of gotten me already in a good place.
Right.
In as much as what my situation, that I'd like to get out of this. So at this point right now, you could start moving this along, and you don't really have to, explain a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Right.
So at this point right now, the direction I would probably be moving in, if I'm you, is if I could,
Hmm.
could we?
Okay.
It sounds like that's important to you, Mr. Seller. If I could get that down on paper today and get that over to you, can we go ahead and wrap this up today? What you said was, and kind of do, so from here, we want to just start. You already know why I'm moving, because I want to see my grandkids, right?
Right.
Okay. You kind of have an idea of the money, how much the property is worth, and how much I'm looking for, what the rents are in the area.
Hmm. So
Okay.
I should just say,
Oh,
hey, if I could help you move to San Diego, to see your kids by next month, by next week, is this something that?
no, I mean, you know my timeline. You don't have to overpromise right here. Don't put yourself in a bind.
Mhm.
Don't tell them it's going to be next week, because very unlikely it's not going to be next week,
Uh-huh.
because you still have to market this property. You still have to find a tenant buyer or whatever, right?
Right. Right.
So now you want to start to maybe want to put me at ease about this next transition that you're going to help me achieve, right?
Right.
Okay, so we talked. You already talked to me a little bit about the 2,300, and by the way, never roll over on the 20 on the that's just market rent,
Right.
right? I just said that was market rent, and you immediately offered me the whole entire amount.
Right.
No way in the world am I going to say no, right? So
Right.
if you back up a step, that's where you end at as far as your negotiations for the rents.
Got it.
All right. You might even find out at this point. Let me ask you: is there a mortgage on the property?
Mm.
Okay. So what is your total payment, including your taxes and your insurance?
That's good. I totally forgot about those. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What is your total payment? And that's where you start your negotiation as far as what you're going to give him per month.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now, what it does is it keeps the window open for you as far as staying in the middle of this deal, because this might be a great sandwich for you
Right.
to be able to actually have some cash flow in the middle of this, right?
Right.
Because let's say that his mortgage payment is 17, PITI, $1,700, and you
Mm-hmm.
could give him 2,000. He
Mm-hmm.
has a $300 a month cash flow. He has his mortgage payment made. He doesn't have any maintenance on the property. Oh, and when I asked you about the $500, you say, look, I can even do this. I can throw in a home warranty that covers all of the major appliances and the roof and the major things that you would have to worry about. That would take care of the things over, $500 or $600 for you. How does that sound, Mr. Seller?
Ooh, that sounds hot.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Now I got your attention.
Yeah.
Now I got your attention because you said everything under 500. Now in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, well, I don't want to just pay for the expensive stuff. I mean, I don't want to pay for any of it, really. But I definitely don't want to focus on paying on the expensive stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you gave me a problem, but you didn't give me a solution.
That
Right? You gave me
sounds
a problem over 500, but you didn't give me a
probably.
solution over 500.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so the money thing, there's a number of elements in the money thing. The cost, what's the outstanding mortgage if they'll share it with you? What is your monthly payment? Okay, because
Right.
your monthly payment, if I can cover that, I might be able to, stay in the middle of this and pull out some cash. This might be
Absolutely.
$300 a month cash flow for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If there's no room, and then obviously that's going to decide for me that I'm going to just, I'm going to just wholesale this. I'm going to just lease option wholesale this deal.
Right.
Right? Because there's no money in the middle for me to hold on to. Or even if there was, it just makes the wholesale lease option part of it more attractive to my eventual buyer. Right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I could still sell it and it'll come with cash flow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So I gave you a bunch of room to create a deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Learn so much.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what you want to look on. You start getting to this money. There's a whole lot of stuff you want to look and see what can I extract from here,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
You did great on the timing. You knew exactly. You know when I want to go. Never ever ever commit to if he says 30 days. Okay, yeah, okay. 30 days sounds about right.
Okay, got it.
Definitely not. Don't start promising him a week.
Right.
Because there's no way in the world you get this done in a week, and you don't want to put that kind of pressure on yourself and that kind of expectation on him.
Right.
Because now he's thinking a week, right? You say it, they think it.
Right.
So now you've created a problem for yourself and for him.
That's bad.
Right? Does that make sense though? You see where I'm going with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And then obviously you want to get my commitment.
Right. Right.
So let's go back into the role play then, and let's work on this section right here. Let's work on this qualification and let's tighten this up right here. Okay.
So, Victor, do you have any mortgage on your house?
Yeah, I do. I have a mortgage. I think it has like 170 left on it.
170. So, approximately, how much is the payment per month?
I pay 1,300. That includes everything.
With all the tax and insurance and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that sounds, pretty decent.
Yeah, good rate.
Wow.
Good rate. Everything. Plus, it's a small loan.
So, so how much, wait, hold on, sorry. I'm a little bit, yeah, okay. Sorry, hang on one
Oh
second.
no, that's okay. That's what we're here for, my friend. You take your time. If you have any questions, just you can just ask.
So, Victor, suppose that I can, I not only help you cover your payments per month, but also, help you, make some extra cash, each month. How does that sound to you? Does that sound, something that may interest you?
Extra cash is always a good thing.
Actually, yeah. I mean, it's that. So suppose if I could offer you like, $400 that you can spend with your, grandkids, and buy them all the toys that they wanted, is that something that, you think you might want to, pursue?
Okay, off the role play,
Uh-huh.
brilliant. brilliant. Because I just saw myself buying things for my grandkids.
Awesome.
You just connected me to an emotion that I wasn't even there. Like I'm thinking just money,
Right.
and you just connected me to something that made the whole thing now a complete. I'm seeing $400 spent on my grandkids as a. You just really anchored it in. That was brilliant. Okay, back on the role play. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
All right.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, man, yeah, I'd like to spend that money on my grandkids.
All right, awesome. So Victor, I'm going to get some, documents ready for you to review. I'm going to prepare some information for you to review later today. I'll send it through email, and perhaps we can get together later this afternoon. Let's say 5 o'clock. Does that sound good to you?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine for me.
Okay, Victor, you sound like a very honest and a man of your word.
I
So
like to think so.
So I think, I should be, after all the work that I'm going to put into this report for you, I'm sure I can't expect that I will see you at 5 today, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be here. You call, I'll answer.
So let's say, suppose if everything looks perfect, what would happen next, at 5 o'clock?
Well, I mean, we'll talk, and if it looks good, we can move forward.
Oh, excuse me. Can you say that again?
If it looks good, we can move forward.
Awesome. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Victor. I'll definitely send that report to you as quickly as I could, and then I'll see you later today.
Perfect. All right. I'll look for your call.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's start with you. How do you think you did?
Well, I am still very raw on this, so I'm just trying to be,
Yeah, and it's so easy for us to be critical on ourselves, man. But you did amazing. Just having the courage to step up and to step in is amazing. And there was some stuff in there that was really, really good. So focus on the stuff you did good. If you look at this right here, so let's kind of just go over it together then. On the roadmap, you kind of let me know, what we're going to do. Could have been a little bit stronger, just so I would have had a straight idea. But part of that is that you have to know where we're going to go.
Right.
Right. Like you have to know what this is that you're trying to accomplish. If you don't know, there's no way you can share it with me.
Amen.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So you have to know, and you have to paint that picture for me right away. Look, what we're going to do is that, does that sound fair to you? And if at any point this goes off the rails, feel free to fire me.
Yeah.
Right. But that's where the conviction starts. That's where the person kind of gets the sense that this person knows what they're doing. This isn't their first rodeo. Even if it is your first rodeo, you can't afford to let them feel that.
Right.
I've lost more deals because, in the beginning, because of just not having a solid sense of who I was in the deal.
Confidence. Have confidence.
Right. Does that make sense, Steve?
Confidence. You got to have that confidence, man. You got to have the authoritative confidence. You got to have it like, hey, I know what I'm doing. Even if you don't.
Even if you don't. Even if you don't. And the reason I put the roadmap on here, right? The reason I put this on here is because you can follow along and you can sound like type of thing, right? So you asked me permission. That was excellent. I was like, okay. And then you gave me permission to fire you, which was good. You found out why I was moving, because I wanted to be closer to my grandkids. You found out a little bit about the grandkids, and then you tied them in later with that awesome spending money on my grandkids scene that painted a picture in my mind that was really an anchoring sort of question that, put me in the picture. It created an emotion, and we know we make our decisions really emotionally, right?
Right.
So that was awesome the way you used that. The money, you were obviously a little bit iffy on that, not understanding,
Right.
you know. So let's talk about the money part. The money part is one, the first part that we could probably put right here is get the information about the money.
Right.
How much do you want for the property? Why do you ask that amount? You said that people were calling you before and asking you and lowballing you.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to get in that conversation and find out exactly what the money situation is for him, right?
Right.
So, you know, I kind of let you off the hook on the money in the role play, because I knew that that was something that, you know, you kind of in your mind, you're thinking about how to structure this deal.
Right.
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 So you weren't sure, and you were almost at the point at which I'll find out some information and figure it out later. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of going there, you just want to make sure that you're solid in finding out what it is here. Find out if they'll tell you payments, you definitely want to know what that is, because and here's how I think of payments. They're the bottom of my offer to him. Because I got to at least cover his payments. Otherwise, it's not really a transaction, right?
Right.
If he has too much of a payment for me to be able to cover, then I might not even have a deal here.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he's over leveraged on his house, has high interest rate loans with ridiculous payments, adjustables, you know, that are going to kick off at any time, you know, and raise everything, then that's something I need to know right now. You know, and that doesn't come up a lot in our conversation, but that's something that we, you know, we might want to take a look at as a group in terms of finding out if there's going to be any major adjustments to the mortgage. That's like a question. You know, are there going to be any major adjustments to this mortgage over the next, you know, couple of years? Because I'm looking, and here's another thing. When you were talking about, and it ties into the money thing, you never really let me know how long you were going to be leasing my property.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You never said, you know, look, I'd like to lease it for 24 to 36 months, which is, you know, the standard, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to let them know the time period that you expect to lease it and what's going to happen at the end of that time period.
Yeah.
Right? Like you never said, look, I'll give you your full asking price at the end of this time period.
Right.
That's key.
Yeah.
Right?
The whole
I got to know. Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Steve?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I didn't have to hear the money part. So I know you was you said 450, but he could have said, you know, if I was able to give you like 450, you know, and we did 36-month lease and we did maybe $2,300 a month, you know, that's not something you'd be interested in, is it? You know, kind of like going that way with it and really nailing that down right up front. I mean, to me, I would have hit that right away. But he did a good job asking, hey, what do you owe? Then you said I owe like about 170, you know, approximately. And he found out what the payments were at 13. Then next, so you're in your mind, Victor, hey, I'm going to be getting like 17 because I got 400 to play with. So but then when you first started out there, when you talked about what's the market, we're at 23. So 23 is in my mind, 17 to Victor. Now I'm going to put that into my proposal, closing at the end. All those little key things.
You literally, you know, I allowed you within this structure. I allowed you to put $600 a month in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other thing too is, sorry, I'm just jumping in. The other thing too is he didn't verify that 2,300 is a realistic rent. So again, you don't have concrete numbers, but it's numbers that you can kind of work through.
Yeah. Yeah. So you definitely don't want to. He says 23. You say yes. Not as an investor, you don't.
Look into it. Yeah.
Yeah. You said, look, you know, let me and you can even do it while you're on the phone with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, look, let me take a look and see what it says here. You know, look at Rentometer, look at the estimate of rents on Zillow. You know, and kind of get a sense of what people are paying in the area, right? And I always have those open when I'm on the phone, so I can kind of get an idea of what people are paying in that area, right?
Right.
So right here is where you kind of you know, want to strengthen up your skill set, and even if you don't know what you're going to do with the deal per se, this is where you get the information that will determine what you're going to do with the deal.
Copy.
Okay, this is where you're going to find out, do I have a sandwich lease option? Do I have a wholesale lease option? Do I have, a possible cash offer situation, if the person starts telling me about work that needs to be done? This is where the opportunity the picture starts to get painted.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you want to stay in there and ask those questions. So in that part right there, that's probably where you need, to strengthen up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on the timing, you got where the timing, but again, like I said, the longer they give you, the longer you take.
Yeah.
Right. Like, do not turn around and tell them that you're going to be done in a week.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen. Like, very unlikely. If it does, hip hop hooray, right? But yeah, no.
Right. But give them what, because you said basically, Victor, September 1st. So make sure you tie that question in to what he gave you September 1st.
Right.
If we were able to get this closed by September 1st, that's not something you want to do, is it? You gave that information. So I want to tie all the stuff in from all the feedback you've given me, all your emotional pains, wants, and needs. I mean, he gave him a lot. I mean, you got grandkids, 1 and 3, San Diego, close by. You could play that scenario great on the recap. And just imagine yourself, being in San Diego. Imagine yourself having this property closed in about 30 days with a $450,000 potential in 3 years. Next to your grandkids, 1 to 3, maybe a mile away from your grandkids, 1 to 3, and having fun, maybe taking an extra $200-300 a month, maybe even going to Disneyland or whatever. You know what I mean? You could play that really good.
Yeah.
Because Victor gave you a lot of stuff to play with.
Right.
Yeah. And I did that deliberately so that you would have some tools to kind of, close this with. So, it's kind of opening you up now, right? The great thing about these role plays that I really like is that you look back on them and, you get to learn, you get to improve at no cost, basically, right? It didn't cost you a deal. It didn't cost you having to be on the phone with somebody and, have to deal with the emotion of screwing up or ruining your reputation in the marketplace. We think all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So, we avoid all that by being on here. And I really appreciate you, stepping up and going through the process.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
That's right. The commitment, you want to lock down the commitment as far as, if I do this, do we have this? And you did do that real quick, real well here when you were doing the confirm, change, and close. And this part right here, to me, is one of the most important parts of this process. That's where you confirm everything that we talked about. Okay, so you told me that you want the $450,000 for your house. If I can give you that, we can get this wrapped up so you can be in San Diego on the 1st of September. And we agreed on that you would be getting $1,700 a month, which would give you that extra $400. Is there anything in there that I'm missing? Is there anything in there that, okay, great. If I put this down if I document all of this and get it over to you in the form of an agreement, can we get back together later at 5 o'clock? Lock it in and make sure that, you see what I'm saying? Right. So it's all kind of a flow.
Right.
You're just recapping everything that he says. You ask some pretty good questions. The question is always obviously the best one. When I ask a question, that's a great question. If you don't mind, why do you ask that? It's always a great question, and you always want to know why they asked it. like a question. Right. It's always a great question, right? And you always want to know why they asked it. If you remember, that's one of the things, the gems I pulled out of the training, that I use all the time. Like, oh my God, what a great question. Like, you asked that for a reason. Why? Right. And then they'll give you more information about it, or they'll realize that they hadn't really thought about it at all, and they're just trying to be clever.
Right.
But let them realize that you don't have to tell them, right? They'll realize it, and then they'll come back, and it'll all kind of get cleaned up as part of the process.
Right.
Right. So great, man. That was amazing. Hopefully, you got as much out of it as everybody else. Again, like I said, thank you so much for stepping up, and I think we all learned a lot from watching you go through the process.
Oh, thank you.
Now, one more question that I have for you. When it's all said and done, on a scale from 1 to 10, where do you think my motivation was?
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Initially, I would say maybe like a 4, but
Okay,
then
someplace in the middle.
yeah, but then
Okay,
it definitely got higher later.
okay,
So it
okay,
was probably like 8, I would say.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I would say you're about dead on with that,
Yeah.
right? You know, there's still some room there that, you know, I could have been more engaged and been more committed to it, but that just comes with a little more experience and using some of the tools that we talked about in the way of emotional connection to everything and all that. You could have probably moved me up to where I was super excited about this. But you're right. I think you're dead on with your analysis of, you know, the motivation points.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. Anybody else want to jump in here and do a little bit? Where are you off to, Robert?
Me, well, I'm just here watching my kids play soccer, but
Oh, nice.
I had a great day yesterday. I closed my first sandwich lease option.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you, my friend.
Yeah, couldn't be more excited about that. You know, as Claude says, you know, you should be, you know, having fun even on the way to the bank.
Especially on the way to the bank.
Yeah, and so the couple that got it, I mean, you know, they just jumped right in. It was a fixer upper, and they just jumped right in. I went by to give them just a little. I've been partnered with my brother, and he says, "Hey, go spend $50 out of the deposit and go get them a nice housewarming gift," which was nice. You know, it's one thing that we're not necessarily taught here, but some of the little things. So anyway, so I went and got him a nice little housewarming gift, and I showed up on the door like it's probably maybe 3 hours after we had closed and signed all the paperwork, and basically they were like really surprised to see me, and then asked me, you know, to come in and take a look. And they had already ripped out carpet, was starting to lay flooring. I was like, unbelievable how
Wow.
fast
So
they moved. So they
handyman
were really
special.
excited.
Nice.
What's that?
I said handyman special type.
Kind of. It was. I mean, it mostly needed just all flooring and paint.
Okay.
Very little work, structural work, but yeah. But there's a lot of potential to do more. But I do have a question for you that you kind of brought up in this scenario,
Okay.
and I have a certain response to it. Like I've had a couple times where people go, "Oh, you know, oh, you're an investor. You know, they're always lowballing me."
Yeah.
And so my response has been, "Hey, you know, I'm really sorry that you've had that experience. It's
Mhm.
been my experience that we're able to help people at, you know, helping them get anywhere from 80 to 100% of their asking price."
Yeah.
And I just kind of leave it at that and then move on. I mean,
Okay.
does that sound kind of good to you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good point.
Whatever you can do to kind of, you know, move them off of the negativity of their experience. I find that that's really what you're trying to do right there, right? You're trying to just get them away from that whole thought of negativity.
Yeah.
Or you know, I have different things depending on you know, the day or whatever, right? But I'll often say, yeah, you know, a lot of times that'll happen because, you know, people have different models of the way that they buy property. And sometimes that's just the only, you know, the only technique that they can use for what they do. You know, fortunately have a number of different ways, and some of those ways allow you to actually get even more than the value of the house. How does that sound to you?
Yeah.
Which is
You know,
essentially seller financing, right?
Yeah, yeah, because now,
Yeah.
you know, they're getting full price and they're getting payments for 24 to 36 months, right? So in essence, they're actually
Yeah.
getting more than the value than the list price of the house.
Yeah.
Right. So even,
Yeah.
you know, I'm actually paying you 103%, 105% in essence for your property.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of like what Wei Lin said in there about, you know, a lot of people, they want their money, you know, they want all their money up front,
Yeah,
but by doing that, they actually make less money on their house.
exactly.
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, and if you can stress that to them, look, you know, that's common for people to want to. Now, somebody else in one of the role plays mentioned about they correlated it to the lottery.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I think it's great.
That was you, Steve?
That's a good one to
Steve,
use.
that was good.
And
Yeah,
that way,
that's
because most people say, well, gee whiz, I would like to take the money up front. Well, and that's social proof. Or you
Yeah.
can say, hey, or you can have 20 years of payments or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
That way it's like, okay, now we got them to agree to social proof. Everybody else is doing it. Maybe they'll do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, just give them to the thing.
That's a good one. Hey, welcome everybody else. You guys, let's see, we got Michael Goolsby. We got Harvard in the house. Ace, my man, how you doing, buddy? I see you out there doing your thing as usual, right? Aisha's in the house. Jimmy, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? All right, we got Ryan, John Moore. All right, you guys, welcome.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So let's see. Let's grab a couple more people, man. Let's do it. Let's do a little more role playing. Anybody want to volunteer real quick?
Yeah, I just jumped in, but I'm with it.
Okay, Harvard.
I do it.
All right, Jimmy. Yeah, man. Here we go. We got the players in the house. You guys need a scenario, or do you guys want to play it as you go?
Play as we go.
Okay. So now, Harvard. Why don't you be the seller in this role play, and let Jimmy be the buyer?
Okay.
You good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then if you want, we could switch it around.
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Perfect.
We can kind of play your scenario in terms of, how you want to fit your product into this. Scenario.
We could just focus on real estate because that's perfect.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. All right, so you guys are going to create the scenario as you go.
Okay.
And ring ring.
Hello.
Yeah. This is Harvard speaking.
Hey, how you doing, Howard? This is Jimmy. Man, I feel completely upset. I know I was supposed to call you around 6. My assistant told me to give you a call. It's not dealing with real estate, is it?
Yeah. I spoke with your assistant. She reached out to me about a 2-family flat that I'm looking to get rid of, and I told her that 6 o'clock was a good time, but I'm a little crunched for time right now. But I guess I got a few minutes. What's up?
Okay, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, like I mentioned, actually an investor. We're looking to purchase a property in the next 30 days. You're not looking to sell it in the same time frame, are you?
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, you don't mind if I just ask you a few questions to see if it's something, I'd be interested in making an offer on?
Yeah, I'm listening. That's perfect.
Okay, awesome. And if you have any questions for me, feel free. You could go ahead and ask and during our conversation. If it's not what you're looking for, go ahead and fire me, okay?
Roger that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So, so tell me, on the scale from 1 to 10, how do you actually rate the condition of the property?
Probably give it about a 7. I know for a fact they need about a good maybe 5 to 10 to work.
Okay, and so how's the roof?
The roof is probably let's say about 9 years old.
9 years old. Okay, and what about the bathroom?
Bathroom, that's where the work needs to be.
Okay, and how bad is the bathroom?
It's I guess you need a new toilet, some new fixtures, and
Okay, man, I appreciate you for sharing that with me. And it sounds like the type of properties that I like to invest in. I'm just curious, what made you consider selling?
I had some crackheads come in and take a shit that was unbelievable. So really, I'm just looking to get rid of it so me and the fam can hop in our RV and just travel across to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Man, I can totally understand where you're coming from. You mentioned about crackheads, but could you just, help me out a little bit, elaborate a little bit more? What is it that you mean about the crackheads? What do you do?
Yeah, well, the home is we rent rooms by day. Yeah, we rent rooms by day. Property roughly generates $3,500 a month. And the individuals, we have a property manager that works with the people in the community. It's a veteran area, so a lot of homeless veterans rent by day. So we work with them. The crackheads was a joke. The crackhead was a joke.
No, man. I appreciate you for actually having a sense of humor, because not a lot of homeowners I come across have a sense of humor like you, man. I appreciate you for actually coming. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just to let you know, my older brother, similar situation. He owned a couple of rental properties, and it was just this one particular property was kind of like an itch for him, and it got to the point when he realized that the tenants that was in the property, they destroyed it, they messed up the toilet, they made holes in the wall, and man, it was like actually the last straw with this property. I just hope you're not going through the same thing, are you?
Well, yeah, dealing with the veterans, it's been a ebony flow. It's been a roller coaster. Some veterans, they really need the space and need some help, and other veterans are kind of going through some type of mental illness where they need some additional assistance, but we don't reject them. Like it is a rent by day. So we don't close our doors to anyone, but we also deal with the risk of having someone that will take a shit.
And I understand where you. As a matter of fact, congratulations for actually serving the country, and making sure everything's is going good for the country. I appreciate you for taking some time out for that.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. So I'm guessing the property, it must be free and clear, is it?
No, there's a mortgage on it. The remaining balance is $62,000.
Okay, and what about the monthly payments that you actually pay now?
Right now it's $1,500.
15 every single month?
Yes.
And I assume you current, correct?
Yes, current.
Awesome. Congratulations on that part as well. Even though you're going through all the headache, you still manage to, stay on top of things. So that tells me a lot about you. So what price you looking to get on the property?
Well, right now I'm looking at 170.
Okay, and how did you come up with that amount?
Just looking at properties in the area. I'm not a realtor or anything like that, but just did some basic research and got some comps in the area. I believe 170 is fair.
No. Okay, man. I can actually tell you are you are an intelligent guy. You're actually keeping track of what properties in the area are selling for. That also tells me a lot about you as well. But let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about me and what is it that we actually do. We are investors. We purchase property cash, or we'll purchase it on terms. Terms could be a rent to own or owner finance. Imagine that we could actually wrap this up in the next 30 days. You can actually move on with your life. Don't have to deal with this headache, this itch no more. What's the best you can actually do?
In regards to the price, I guess I know it needs a little work, so I'll even consider 160, 150 around that range. How does that sound?
But like you mentioned, it's what needs some work, especially the bathroom is a couple of thousands.
Yeah, let me ask you this question: Is it you're an investor, and is this something that you're gonna maybe live in, or is this something just to add to your portfolio?
That's a good question. You must be asking me that for a reason. What is it?
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I'm sure. Let's say you've looked at the area, you've looked at the pictures. I'm sure you have the comps for the area. So I'm just, can you help me understand what's your input on that? What's your
matter of fact, I appreciate you for bringing that up, and you asking me some great questions. With this property right now, to be honest, it might be something that we might hold on to. It might be something we're gonna put some money in and just put it back on the market. We really doesn't know unless we actually close on it. Then we'll actually know what would be the next step. How do you feel about that?
Okay, no, that sounds really good. You got my attention.
Okay, then I appreciate you. So like I mentioned, I'm looking at the numbers right now, and if we would actually move forward on this property, like I said, this is the type of property we love to put our hands on. We could actually be at the ballpark between 110 and 115. How do you feel about that?
Oh, okay. 110, 115. So I guess that's good, walking away at about 40, 50,000. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. In regards to the 115, 120, this is cash. Is this cash or is this something where, let's see, because I'm looking to get out of here sooner than 30 days. And how soon can you close?
You mentioned that if it's going to be cash, and you mentioned how soon can I close. Suppose I say it's actually going to be cash, and we can actually close a day of your choice. What would you like to do next?
Well, yeah, I would like that. I really would. And also, my family is moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're hopping in our RV and really, looking for a new life, but that transition is going to require a little more than just, $40,000, especially when you're living in an RV. We got 2 pet alligators that's important to us, and we feed them whole chicken. So it's like we gotta make sure that we're taking care of everybody that's involved and our children. So 120 is cutting it kind of tight.
Okay, and so tell me, what's your magic number?
Well, if you could throw in another 10,000 just to transfer just to help us get out of this property as soon as possible. I believe that'll definitely put a smile on my alligator's face.
Wow. Wow. Wow, the property actually needs some, major updating on this property. Man, my partner actually would kill me for this one, but suppose that we actually could, instead of the 10, we can actually give you 5, on top of that. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so what would that make us? That would make it roughly 130.
It's actually, from the beginning we spoke. My offer was at 110 or 115. So if we could make it at least at 120, where you can actually go ahead and relocate with your beautiful wife, and so you don't have to deal with this house anymore, man. How would you feel about this?
Okay. Okay. So about 1. So we're looking at 120. Yeah, that's a pretty deep discount right there. You've seen the pictures, right? You've seen the pictures of the bathroom, in the home area. Is there something that you're seeing that I'm not?
That's actually a good question. Could you just help me out with, because it must be a concern for you. I'm not really sure. Help me out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, my estimate on repairs is roughly around 5,000. And as of right now, I see it's a pretty deep discount in regards to the market value of the home. It is income generating currently, so it's kind of tough for me to just, to even accept 120, and I'm asking roughly around 130 just to make it and just make it interesting for an investor to look at and say, I have a good margin on this particular property. So, that's why I was curious. Is there something you're looking at that I'm not seeing? Like, help me understand that.
Oh man, I appreciate you for bringing that up. Well, like I mentioned before, and like what I'm actually looking into is that, the property does need some major work, because when it comes down, we might, for example, we might agree on the price now, and when it comes time to do the digging and doing some updating on this property, we always come up with some hiccups and unexpected, problems that end up coming out way more than we expected. So, that's the reason why, I'm actually at that figure. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to, anything that could go wrong will go wrong, and I completely understand, especially when you're dealing with construction and general contractors. It's a lot to take into consideration. Yeah. Let's say,
matter of fact, I just finished a project not too long ago. We agree on the price. I expected that the property was, with just little minor work. And once I got my contractors in, they end up telling me it's unexpected problems that came up. So it's more money was coming out of my pocket. My partner was getting a little bit upset. We thought we was ready to go. And, at this moment, it sounds like we just doesn't want to go through the same thing at the moment. You hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I completely see your methodology around that. Let's say okay. So let's discuss some type of terms, because you said you sound pretty set at 120. Is that that's the best price that you can offer for the particular property? And I'm asking 130. So there's like a $10,000 spread between the two. You wouldn't be willing to give me a monthly of $1,000 for 10 months over this 12, let's say a 12-month commitment of this particular property? Is that something that wouldn't be something you're interested in, would it? If I accepted the 120?
Give me a second. Let me look at some calculation real quick. Give me a second. You know what? Howard, I'm looking at the numbers right now.
Harvard.
You mentioned Harvard. I'm so sorry. I thought it was Howard. I'm looking at
it's both. It's
right
two
now.
schools. It's one's a HBCU and the other one's just wealthy.
No problem. That's what I was assuming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the figures right now, and you mentioned that the terms which we actually we would purchase on term as well. Here's what we can actually do. It's okay if it doesn't make sense. We could give you the price with the extra balance that you're inquiring about. Instead of the $1,000 a month, we could probably do between $250 until we pay off the balance. How do you feel about that?
$250. So that's times 4. So that'd be roughly for 4 years of $250.
Correct.
Okay. And you'll be on time every time.
Suppose I say that we're gonna be able to make the payments every first of the month. What would you like?
Okay. Okay. That sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. But 4 years is it's pretty long. It's a pretty long period of time, and I would love to let's cut that number down by half. $500 a month for 2 years. Yeah, that right there it seems a bit like meet me in the middle. How does that sound?
Suppose that I'm able to meet you in the middle. What would you like to do next?
I would like to move forward. I'm ready. My RV is gassed up. I got 2 leashes on my alligator, and I just adopted a turtle, so I'm ready.
Okay. Well, you seem like an honest guy. You seem like, the type that once you give your word is your bond. I'm actually going to go ahead and get these paperwork together. You're not going to call me back and say you changed your mind, are you?
No, actually, I'm already packed up. I'm waiting on you.
Oh, man, congratulations. Good for you on that trip.
Oh, yeah.
So what questions do you have for me before I go ahead and finalize everything?
My only question is, are you in the Chattanooga area, we're just looking to meet some cool people and go fishing. You seem like a great guy.
Suppose I say I'm actually in the Chattanooga area. What would you like to do next?
Oh man, yeah. I'm good. That's good. Oh man, we got a deal.
Okay.
We got a deal. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. So, is there anyone else that you normally consult with before you make any decisions?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, awesome. Congratulations. Okay, here's what I'm actually going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and send you the documents. It's 1:00 now. You think you could, get it back to me by, 1:30, 2:30,
Yes.
2 o'clock the latest?
Yes, that's perfect.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Like I mentioned before, if you have any question, I'm actually going to go ahead and send it to you by email. Your email address is Harvard?
Yes,
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yep.
But I'm the type of person I like for you to, match the name with a face. If you want, it's gonna have my Skype and the email, and it's gonna have a direct phone number as well. We could do FaceTime so you can actually feel comfortable, okay?
Oh, that's perfect.
No problem. You're welcome. So I hear back from you between 1:30, 2 o'clock the latest, correct?
Yes, that's perfect. Talk to you then.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so you guys just decided to take it to a whole nother level today, huh? Okay. That was sick. The ways that you cover it, Jimmy, the way that you just listen, the way that you kind of process what it is, and the way that you use the pause, that's just next level stuff in terms of engaging somebody and wanting and making them feel like, well, did I say something wrong?
Yeah.
If you can get the seller to think that they're actually now, like they have screwed up the deal somehow, I mean, that puts you in the driver's seat like none other, right? And that pause that you do is just killer. And Harvard, you were coming with it from all sorts of angles, because at first I was thinking, Harvard, you might be overplaying this a little bit. But then I realized, but then I thought, we do get some people on the phone that are well versed and that have their own thoughts and have a little bit of experience with selling property, and will take you down some roads and stuff. And man, that was rich. I'll let you guys go first on the critique. Jimmy, what did you think about it? Oh, there's one thing I did want to say before I let you speak, and that is earlier we did a role play. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can see everybody. Earlier we did a role play with Waylin, and I know Waylin is still there. And the thing I wanted to point out, Waylin, in this role play was how he never settled at the price that the seller threw out there. Like, he didn't settle for a single one of the suggestions in price you know what I'm saying? So he retained control of the pricing and the structure that he wanted to put together for this deal. And that's key. That's very important that we do that we remain in control of how we want to structure this deal. And so I just wanted to point that out, because that's a conversation we had a little bit earlier. So Jimmy, share with us, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking? How do you think it worked? Mia, welcome. This is our new person.
With my thought, by the way, I think he did a great job.
You did.
Back and forth, and asking me questions, and I asked them questions like you mentioned earlier. That's a great question. You asked that for a reason. What is it? Basically, it's going back and forth. Nice dialogue between both of us. He had a sense of humor during the conversation. Not like a lot of homeowners you come across have a sense of humor. They're so uptight and upfront and stuff. But I think he did a great job.
Yeah. Harvard, your feedback, my friend?
It was just a phenomenal role play. I already knew getting with Jimmy Jean, it was going to be, it was going to be a classic. So I was like, let me just, it was good to just have a good
That was good.
And a guts buyer, just going back and forth, because honestly, just thinking about real estate and just being, able to meet in the middle and utilizing terms to agree to a certain price. I know 120, he was set in stone at 120. And just to get that additional 10, being able to just develop some terms to say that, to help or whatever it may be. It was a phenomenal role play. I'm gonna definitely go back and watch this again. Just for that. I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jewels in that one particular. I like that.
And Harvard, I also wanted to acknowledge you, my friend, because I remember when we first started and you first joined us on the role play.
Oh, yeah.
And how, your knowledge of real estate and how to fit in the parts of the transaction and where everything went together. You were at a level 2 or something in terms of that. And I don't say that to
no, that's cool.
I'm saying that, that just wasn't your skill set, right?
True, very
and
true.
Now I'm listening to you talking. It's clear that you have taken this on like a commitment, and the ability that you have now to recognize. And I know for a fact that this is going to allow you now to be able to fit your product into a person's situation at a level that wasn't available to you, just a couple of weeks ago. Just in terms of your understanding. So, I acknowledge you, man, for your commitment.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Learning this.
Yeah, he did real good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. That was, I think you guys covered all the bases, everything that was on there. If we go back again to, our little chart right here. Jimmy, where do you think he was on the level of motivation from beginning to the end?
I give him an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give him an 8.
Yeah. Where do you think he started at?
In the beginning, he started like on a 4.
Yeah.
He started at a 4, and then eventually we built the rapport. We had the connection right then and there, and then it went up to 8 to me, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree 100% with that. And that conversation and the way you answered his needs is what moved him from that 4 to that 8. You addressed the things that were important to him, and you painted the picture of what it's going to look like if we get this done for you. And that's really the key, guys, is you want to paint that picture for them about what it's going to look like when this gets done in, 30 days. What is your life going to look like after that? And I find that's just that's a sweet spot right there. If you can get them to see that, and you can get them emotionally involved with what this resolution is going to look like for them, like a lifestyle, like a change in condition, you'll get yourself a deal out of this, right? So I'm not going to go over all this. I want to do some more role play, but pretty much, Jimmy set the roadmap. He got permission to ask questions. He gave him permission to fire him. He found out, why he wanted to get out the house, because, he's getting ready to go on this road trip with his alligators and his family. He found out all about the money. He found out everything about the money. Well, how much he owes, how much he wants, how much he pays, how much he needs. And those are the things, those are the questions that you want answered. Timing again, he wanted to get this done as quickly as possible, and he gave him a timeline that fit within his desire. He got the commitment. He got a commitment about the time, about the money, about the getting back together. All of that, he got all of those commitments out of the conversation. He recapped everything, told him exactly what we had went over, got agreement on that, solved and satisfied his desires, and asked him a bunch of questions. And also the thing that he did right here that was great was ask him if he had any questions for him.
Yeah,
that was strong. That was strong, because what you do then is you give them a certain stature. You let them know that they're important, and that you acknowledge the fact that you want to make sure that they are that they get what they need out of this deal, and that they get all of their questions answered. And it says a lot to a person. I know it does for me, and it probably does for pretty much everybody, to know that one, you've been heard, and two, that you've been acknowledged.
Correct.
Right. And just asking that simple question, do you have any questions for me? Just lets a person know that, you know, that you have concern and care for what it is that they're dealing with, and that you're willing to let them, you know, work it out with you. And then, you know, you confirmed everything that he said, asked them if there's anything that needed to be changed, and assuming that all of this was good, can we get back together at 2 o'clock? And when we do we have ourselves a deal? And he got the commitment as far as that goes. So, you know, all in all, man, I would have to give you a A+, you know, all that. Outstanding job as usual, Jimmy. And you know, Harvard, we already talked about you, man. Great role play as a seller. Outstanding. All right, guys, let's see. We still got plenty of time. Let's go here. Anybody else want to jump in on the hot seat? I shouldn't say hot seat, because you guys will be like, no, I don't want to jump on this. Hi, Mia. Welcome to the role play. Mia is brand new to the team. You know, you guys probably saw her on the Facebook group getting her shout outs and invites and everything. And she's here in California, right? You want to tell us a little something about you, Mia?
Oh.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm in Riverside County. Down.
Oh, really? I'm in Fontana.
Riverside.
I'm in Fontana, yeah.
Yes, you're around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there today, actually.
Oh, we'll have to get together soon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually a real estate broker here.
Okay.
And I've been working on the typical, retail real estate side, and I have to make the switch over.
I know exactly what you mean. I was in retail real estate for a minute and realized real quick that was not the direction I wanted to go in. I'm also licensed. In fact, I'm unaffiliated right now because I don't have that much interest, and I have a broker relationship where if I do need one, I just sign with him and pay him $500.
Right.
That's how I run. Yeah, that's how I do the license thing. Anyway, well, welcome. Are you interested in doing the role play, or you just want to hang out and listen for a little while?
Let me hang out for a while.
Okay. That's okay.
I'll be back soon.
Okay. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to? Oh, Steve.
I'd like to give this a shot.
Okay, great. You want to play the buyer or the seller?
I want to play the buyer.
Okay.
With a little bit of a reluctant seller.
Got it. Okay. Do we have a seller volunteer?
What's going on?
Who's that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Who's this?
It's Philip.
Hey, Philip, how you doing, buddy?
What's up?
All right. So
I'll be the reluctant buyer.
The reluctant seller? You're going to be the seller.
I'm sorry?
I said you were going to be the seller.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we want to, Steve is kind of new to the crew, so we don't want to give him we don't want to drag him through the mud. We're going to just, we're going to let him work his way through this, Philip. So don't beat him up, all right?
Oh, man.
I was going to say beat me up because it only makes you stronger, right?
Okay, all right. Well, Steve says go ahead and beat him up. You know what I'm saying? Because Philip will go after you.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is probably going to be a train wreck, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh no, you'll be fine. Do you want me to put up the screen share, kind of give you a guide?
Yes, please. That would be great. I think that's a great little tool.
It is. It's a great tool. Kind of gives you a little roadmap. No pun intended. Do you guys want to set the agenda as you go, or should we do a? You want me to kind of set it up for you, or you guys want to play it as you go?
No, if it's okay with you, let's just wing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Ring.
Okay. Hello.
No, you gotta say to me.
No. You. I mean, just play along, baby. You're an actor in this, so you're the seller.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. My name is Steve. I'm calling about the house you have available at 123 Main Street.
Yeah, how you doing? What about it?
Good. Do you have a couple of minutes to talk now?
Yeah, I got a couple of minutes. How can I help you?
Yeah. Again, my name is Steve, and I'm looking to purchase a house in that area. And I just want to
Good. I'm
talk to you.
going to sell it.
All right, great, fantastic. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you real quick about the house, get a little more information to see about possibly making an offer on it today.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
It's fine. I got it on the list. I had on the list, so yes, I need to sell it.
All right. Yeah, great. So we'll talk a little bit, get a little more information on the house. Maybe you can get some information about me. And if it's a good fit, we can move forward. If not, then we'll just part ways. Okay?
That's cool.
All right, great, great. Yeah, so could you tell me a little bit about the house, the condition of the house?
Yes, it's a 4 and 2. It's a 4 and 2. I just I'm in a nasty divorce right now. I'm a little upset. So if I jump at you, please forgive me. That's
no
cool.
worries. No worries. I'm sorry to hear you going through that.
Me and my wife, we trying to sell this house, we're trying to sell this house. It's a 4 and 2, about 1670 square feet. It was built in 1980. What else you need to know?
Well, maybe the condition. How's the roof, the windows, the foundation, that type of stuff?
Well, the foundations on it is kind of good, I'm trying to hurry up before my wife comes back. It's like I need to sell this quickly. What can you do to help me right now?
Okay, all right. So do you, as far as the price you're asking, what is your asking price?
In the neighborhood, it's about 450.
450. And
Yeah.
Philip, how did you derive at that price?
Because the house down the street sold for 500 and it's a little bit bigger. So I'm just having a little estimate like that. That's how I got the estimate.
Okay. Have you had it listed for a while?
Kind of in a way. It was been on there for almost like a month now. So I need to get rid of it quickly.
Okay. Have you had any people looking at the house? Prospective buyers?
Yeah, I had a couple of people look at it and they couldn't close on it. They give me empty promises, so that's probably why I'm a little upset. So
okay, all right. Well, that will not be the case with me. I can assure you that. Did you get any feedback on the house from the people looking at it?
They say they like it, they like it, and they said it was too big for them. They said they wanted it and something happened with funding, so they didn't have the proper funds. They couldn't get qualified for a loan or anything like that.
All right. So does it need any updating? It sounds like the structures are really good. The main things are really good about the house, but does it need any updating? Bathrooms, kitchen, that type of thing, flooring?
Probably the kitchen needs some type of work on it, and some paint, a little paint on it. So that's what it is.
Okay. Good. All right. So 450, based on that sale down the house for 500, a little bit bigger, and it does need some updating. Is that the best you could do on the price?
What do you want to offer me?
Well, I'm not really sure. I haven't seen the house, obviously, so I'd have to rely on you to give me what you think is your bottom line price.
I don't know. Just give me a price, because
Right.
I say 450. I say 450, and I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we could talk a little bit more, and I could come up with a number after we finish talking. Is that okay with you?
It's fine, because the kitchen, it needs a little bit of work on it, but it's livable. I mean, okay. I can say that it's livable.
All right, good. All right, so Philip, one of the ways we can get this thing done quickly is if we maybe work out some financing. So if I can ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, about the financing on the property and some of the expenses, we could maybe move this along faster. Is that okay?
Okay. I mean, that's what we said in the beginning. I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. All right. So what are your annual property taxes there?
The annual property tax is $7,800 a year.
70. Okay. All right. And how about your homeowner's insurance? The
homeowner's insurance, everything together, everything's in together is about $1,600.
Everything together. Okay, $1,600 for insurance. Now, how long you been living in the house?
I had lived in the house for 15 years.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I imagine you have a balance on your mortgage still, correct?
Yeah, because it's not a 15-year conventional.
Okay. So do you mind if I ask what your balance is? on your mortgage?
Why do you need to know that?
Well, I'm just trying to work out a deal and with you, and the more financials I understand, the faster I can get you a bona fide offer.
Okay, so if you mind me asking this question, how are you gonna pay for this?
Well, it all depends on the financing, how we can structure it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm asking these questions to get a better understanding, so I can make sure it makes sense for both of us.
Okay, my interest rate, the loan on the balance is high, so it's about 200, around 220, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And
right.
the interest rate is on it is 2%.
Oh wow, that's a great rate. Good for you for pulling that one off.
Yeah, I had good credit, so I need to sell this house. You know, this divorce is gonna be ugly.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. I'm sorry again you're going through that, but we're going to try to get you out of this house as fast as possible. So with your 220 balance on your mortgage, what is your monthly principal and interest payments? Principal, and then your interest.
16. I told you already 16.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant. I'm sorry. I thought you were referring to your insurance was 1600
No.
a year.
I mean for everything.
Okay. All right. 16. Okay. Good. All right. So I got that. That's important. And your timing is ASAP. We got it. We could try to put something together within the next couple of weeks and get a close on it. How does that sound?
I'm trying to close like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we're still gonna have to do a little. We have to come out and inspect the property and do a little bit more research or due diligence on it, and then I can put together something that's going to be a solid offer and it will not fall through like it had happened to you a couple of times before the past month.
Okay, I mean, actually, this right. So we can get a contact. If you get a contact today, right? I put a on this contract. I put a 15-day inspection contingency on here to keep your word. How did that sound? Because I need to get out of this property ASAP.
Okay, no, I could do that. I could do a 15-day inspection period and get my due diligence in order and get you a bona fide offer.
Okay.
Okay, so my question to you, Philip, is that one of the ways we can move this really fast and get this done within the next 15 days, if we can work out some sort of some terms on this deal, terms in meaning that maybe I pay you off over a period of time. You have a lot of equity in the house. I can pay you that equity out, and I can pay you monthly payments over time.
You're talking about how much here? Because are you gonna give me more than 1,600 a month?
Yeah, I could give you a little more, 1,600. Yes. The longer you're willing to go, the more I could give you.
Okay, because I know my wife will be coming after me. She gonna come after me, so
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how it's gonna work. With this divorce. I don't know how this gonna work.
Yeah, well, she'd definitely have to be on board with it because obviously what you're going through is tough, and you have to make sure she was in agreement with this thing. So what I could do is I could put together some numbers based on what you're telling me, get you an offer out later on today, and then we can move forward with this thing and get you both a clean break from it, so that you can move on with your lives.
Yeah, because this house brings back so many memories, and I need to get it. So I need to bury it in the past.
Yeah, I understand. All right, so just to let you know that I will put together an offer. Your asking price is $450. Your payments are $1,600 all in, including principal, taxes, interest.
Yeah.
So I will work on getting you a price, a monthly amount rent, if you will, lease purchase, and then we go ahead and then set a term. So maybe 48 months as an example.
48.
Yeah.
So that means you pay me 2 years. Or not 2 years. I'm sorry, 4 years. 4 years.
A 4-year period. That way, you don't have to worry about any of the repairs and maintenance. I've got that covered. You'll be free of the house. I'll take on all responsibilities. You'll get your full asking price. I'm not going to try to lowball you, discount you. I'm not even going to throw in the fact that the kitchen and the baths need some work on it and need some other updating. I respect your situation. I know you want to get out fast. So this is the best way we can go. Pay full asking price, give you 48 months. I'll pay you monthly fees. I'll take over all the responsibilities of expenses, repairs, maintenance. How does that sound to you?
So let me ask you this question then, because I'm just curious, right? Are you going to be living in it or somebody else going to be living in it?
No, chances are I'm not going to be living in the house, to be direct with you. And
Okay.
yeah, and you know what? It doesn't really matter because I'm going to buy the house. I'm going to take over the responsibilities. You'll be dealing with me directly, nobody else.
So if you're not the person in it. So I'm just want to make sure that I get this right. So because I'm in an emotional state right now. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
if you're not going to live in it, right, and you're going to take care of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you guaranteeing that you're making my monthly payments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You get your money. We'll determine what day of the month you want your money, and I'll have the money electronically sent to your account, whatever account it is you want.
Because I have until the 15th to pay off.
All right. So I can get you the money by the 10th of every month, and I'll put that in our agreement. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Again, you won't have anything. I can imagine what you're going through, but you'll be free for this thing in about 15 days. We'll get all the paperwork set up, ready to go. And I just got to finish up a few things on my end, and we'll get you that monthly payment, like I said, and over the 40-month period. Take over all responsibilities. You don't have anything to worry about. And again, you and your wife can go your ways and live your life.
All right. I'll hold you to it.
Okay, good. So listen, I'm going to get this out to you in about an hour, my proposal. If you could, we'd like to maybe loop back with you around 5 p.m. today. Does that
That's
work
fine.
for you?
That's fine.
And Philip, can I ask you for a favor, please?
What is your favor?
Can you make sure that your wife is informed and she's in agreement with this thing? Because you and I don't want to have an agreement and have everything set up, and then all of a sudden the whole thing falls apart tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. But I will try to make it happen, you know.
Okay.
I'll try to make it happen with that, you know.
Yeah. And just remember, you're getting full asking price. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm not going to try to discount any of the repairs and all that. You won't have to pay any commissions, fees. I'll even take care of your closing costs. So you could just, again, very clean, no out of pocket costs. You walk away from this. If you can explain that to your wife and make sure she's really comfortable with it, and you're both willing to sign off on this, we can get you out of there within the 15-day period.
Okay. So how much of my equity do I have up front?
I'm sure I'm not understanding your question.
30.
The question is out of the $220,000 I have in equity in the house, how much do I get that up front at closing?
You're not going to get any of the equity at closing. You're going to get it through monthly payments. And then at the end of the 48 period months, I'll cash you out. You'll get the balance of your equity.
Because I need something to move. So that's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. So how much you're looking up front so that you can move?
I need $10,000.
10,000. Okay. All right. I think we can work that out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put $10,000 into the agreement, and then we can solidify everything, sign off on it, and we'll get everything done within that 15-day period.
Okay. As long as I get $10,000 for me to move and live my life, I can wait on it.
Okay. All right. That's great. All right. So Philip, I will get you this agreement out in about an hour, and then I will call you back at 5 o'clock today to make sure that we're all set with you and your wife on this agreement, and then we can sign off on it, and then we'll get all the paperwork done.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Good. Great talking to you, and I look forward to speaking with you later on today.
All right. Indeed.
All right. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, great job, you guys. Fantastic. Well, let's start. I'll let you guys do your critique first. Steve, how did you feel about the role play? How did you feel about the way you ended up that situation?
Okay, I think this little chart you created was awesome. It helped.
I can't take the credit for this.
Focus.
This is actually Justin Chamness's
Okay,
chart.
Justin did a great job. It kept me focused, kept me on track. I think I need to work on more of the nuances of this type of the guts training.
Yeah.
You know, the imagine this and the redirecting of questions. That's where I struggle with.
Okay.
I think Steve Zobro said the other day we were on the call Monday. I think he's got it down. And I don't know, Steve, I don't know how much time you spent on it, but it seemed like you really mastered this thing. You got a good handle on how to touch the points throughout the conversation. And I think that's what I'm lacking. But overall, I think
you're lacking it now, but you're well on your way to, to mastery. It's just a matter of time and practice. Once there's a bunch of videos between Claude and Justin, and even these are always posted after the fact. So you can always just go back and, look at the different ways that you do it. If you get in touch with Claude himself, he'll send you if you don't have his material, he'll send you his free book and, a bunch of stuff that'll kind of, bring it all together for you. So you're fine. You're on the right track.
Good.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Okay, Philip, let me ask you first. How did you feel about the role play?
I feel like he did an excellent job, for somebody, he said just starting out,
Yeah.
He did kind of good,
Okay. All right, cool. Appreciate that. Okay, so I did want to give you guys a little bit of a feedback. So Steve, I wasn't sure what kind of deal you put together right here, only because it sounds like you did a pretty house deal on a not pretty house. Right? Because there are some costs associated now to bring this house up to particular standards. So if you promise him his entire asking price, now you have got to budget the repairs into the sales price on the back end. Now, maybe you assume that, you had a window there that you could fit in the repairs and everything and still sell it above that price and still make a profit for yourself and still offer him the cash flow in terms of the month. So you see, there was a lot of moving parts right there, but it feels like you might have made a deal for a pretty house. In other words, a turnkey, walk in, move your stuff in, live your life type scenario, but it wasn't that kind of house.
Yeah, I did hear him say it was livable. It needs a little updating. The main stuff was covered, and I thought maybe, some paint and fresh flooring or something like that.
Yeah, but you don't know that, and so what you kind of set yourself up to is to now have to renegotiate the contract. Which, if you do that, my experience has been, and that's probably the case with most people, that it just starts to make a whole bunch of stuff really difficult to go back and fix up all the things, because now you're kind of like just like one of the other guys, right? You making me these offers that you can't, fulfill. So a couple of things I wanted to share in terms of that. Every time he asked for a concession, and remember, we had this conversation earlier, and Jimmy kind of, worked his way. Jimmy never gives the first price, the first offer, their first suggestion. Like, and I'm like that too. Like, that's never going to happen. Like, I'm always going to counter. I may end up back there. Like, if I see it immediately that it fits in my window, I'm going to play the game anyway. I'm going to still try to get a better deal.
Something?
They almost expect it. Go ahead.
I want to say he can use a wraparound mortgage because my interest rate is low. I don't know what, it's 2%. He can upcharge it for 6-7% for somebody, a handyman. If he ain't like the criteria, right, he can have a handyman in there and live in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some options out, and that's where we're going. Like, what exactly? How do you want to structure this deal? But what was important about that is, you don't want to concede as soon as they start giving you their price and their terms. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? You always want to stay in there because they said that for a reason. And it's probably they're trying to get the top of their, market, what they assume to be their market. So, you want to always be in negotiation mode as far as that goes, because if you start to concede to everything that they ask, it takes away your leverage.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to maintain that leverage.
Yeah, I was too anxious. Good point.
Yeah, and that's what happens is you start to become the anxious buyer. And one of the things that you'll hear Claude say all the time, you're always the reluctant buyer. Like you're always ready to step off this deal, or at least in their mind, that's what you want to set up. That you know what, this is maybe, I don't know. This is probably not the deal that I'm looking for because I don't know, Mr. Seller. That's a great question. Why did you ask that? Or did somebody offer you that before? Is that why you
what I was thinking too? I was thinking in the back of my mind, I got 15 days to inspect the property. If there's any major deficiencies, I go back to him and say, well, Philip, you kind of told me this and there. So I kind of left that in my back of my mind. But to your point, I wasn't the reluctant buyer.
Right. And now you've actually created a situation now where this can get kind of prolonged, right? Because if you go do an inspection right now and now it changes, now you've kind of broken your word with him, right? You said you would get it done for him in 15 days. In his mind, that's all he heard was 15 days. He's not hearing that you're coming back now, finding things wrong with the property and having to correct them. And now you have to extend to 15 days, right? Yeah. You know how sellers are. All he heard was 15 days. And if you're not done in 15 days, you got a pissed off seller, you've got issues connecting back and forth. You're kind of creating a hazard down the road type of thing, right?
Especially if I'm going through a divorce. Especially if I'm going through a divorce.
Especially because his attitude is going to be bad, and it could only get worse from here, right? Okay, so, and here's another thing, you guys kind of set up a deal in this, and I'm just talking about this particular scenario right now, right? He's getting divorced. He's talking about taking payments for an extended period of time. That's going to become messy. Now, you did ask if she was part of decision making, but you didn't ask if she was on title. Because she could be just, noise. If she's not on title,
you're okay.
You know what I mean? The question you really want to find out is if she's on title. If she's on title, you got to figure this deal is 50-50 at best.
Yeah, that's another really good point.
Yeah.
Right? So when you hear divorce, the first thing you think is she on title or is he on title? Right.
Sounds like I just got my ass kicked. I didn't even know
it. He gotta smoke you a little bit because he's in the complete driver's seat of this scenario right now, and I guarantee you he's still shopping his property too.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
I guarantee you he's still shopping. Somebody comes up with a better deal, or with and you're talking about a timeline, and then you're talking about getting back to him after you figure out some things. You more than likely where you want to go with this is if I can get this into a contract, if I can get this agreement on paper today, are you ready to move forward today? Like we don't have time, Mr. Sutter, you said you're in a divorce situation. What I have found is that, these things require that we move rather quickly on this. I'm going to leave it up to you to deal with the ramifications of the income and everything that may have to be split later. Have you thought about that yourself? And if so, how would this work out best for you in terms of you receiving your monies? If you can solve that problem, I guarantee you got a deal. Because nobody else has asked them that. Nobody else has said, in an ideal world, how would you like to get through this? And what would work best, for the resolution in terms of, this divorce situation?
Yeah, that's very powerful.
Yeah, he put that right in your lap for you, right? And you want to jump all over that because what he wants to do, and you can tell, he's talking about a contentious divorce right now. How can I help you best out of this financial situation that's about to become an issue for you in this divorce? If you answer that question for him, I guarantee you he is moving forward.
That's really good, Victor. Really
good. You know, you emotionally bind him to this. Now, how would it look for you in 30 days if we get all of this resolved and we do it this way?
Mhm.
Now he has a mental image of what exactly can occur. Oh, okay, great. So if I get this documentation over to you with the terms exactly as we spelled out and get back with you at 5 o'clock, what's going to happen then?
We have another conversation.
We're going to have another conversation, Philip. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about, Philip?
How are you going to help? How are you going to help me get out of my situation?
Well, I'm going to put all of that on paper per how we spoke about it and how we agreed. If I get all of the terms exactly as we described, can we lock this down at 5 o'clock when we talk again?
Yeah, that's why we speaking.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said yes. That's why we. I said yes. That's why we speaking.
Well, we're speaking to get the terms together, but what I'd really like to do is to make sure that you and I can lock this down, get your signature on the documentation so I can move forward, because you know you told me yourself you're on a timeline. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at 5 o'clock we can go ahead and move forward with this?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Thank you, Philip. I look forward to speaking with you, my friend. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure all mine.
Yeah, very good. Very
Make
smooth.
sense?
Yeah, total.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
So that's where we want to go. So I first of all appreciate both of you guys. That was an excellent role play. He kind of threw you some curves. He kind of moved around, but he kind of put some stuff right in your lap that you absolutely could jump on. You know, somebody
I blew past it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you were kind of going through the process, right? That's expected, especially since you don't have the experience in it. But when somebody throws something like that, our job as investors is solve problems.
Right.
He has a problem.
Big problem.
He has a divorce that's pending, and we're all adults here, so we all know what could happen in this divorce scenario.
Mm-hmm.
If you can solve that problem for him in a way that puts him in the driver's seat, you got him. He's on your team now. That makes sense?
That's really good. Yeah, that's really good stuff. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. That's the only problem right now that he needs to solve. He came on. He was, he was upset. He's telling you that this thing is getting ready to get ugly. He's getting, just drive into that pain point right there and close this deal with that dude.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
This is great.
That was awesome, you guys. You got something to say, Philip? You want something to share?
Yeah, because I was asking him how are you gonna pay for this? Yeah. Because somebody had financial issues, couldn't close. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so one of the answers, Steve, just so you know, we have a number of clients, and we do, because that's our job, right? We don't necessarily have to have them right now, but we have well qualified individuals. In fact, if I could make it possible for you to have the last word on who in fact we put into your property, can we move forward with that right now?
Great. Yeah.
Give them the opportunity to sign off on because that was a concern of his.
Yeah.
Right. He wanted to know who was going to move in, who was going to do whatever. We have well qualified, well screened clients. In fact, what I can do is I can give you right of first refusal. Would that satisfy that for you, Mr. Seller? Great.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I'll put that on the documentation. Go ahead, Philip.
I'm like, nah. He was like he molest kids. You hear me?
I'm sorry?
I like, you said first right of refusal?
Yeah, right of first refusal.
I like, no. I said, no, kiss somebody else. Like, what?
Yeah. The right of first refusal, it means that you're going to run by the tenant by him, but he's going to bring somebody who's going to be strong. He's going to we're going to screen our tenant, and he's going to be able to say, okay, this person sounds good or not. If they say or not, they imply and understand at that point that what they've basically done is they have created a scenario that's going to take a little bit longer because now we have to find someone else.
So I have a question with that though, right? So what do you explain to your tenant buyer, right? Do you say you the owner or you talk to the actual owner?
Repeat that for me.
I said, who? If you like the tenant buyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tenant buyer said, I'm not the owner though, but you're selling this to the tenant buyer, right? The tenant buyer talks to me.
Yes.
So okay, because they don't have no confusion. Saying, I thought you was the owner.
I'm not sure if I understand completely, but here's let me paint the picture for you. You are going to screen, you are going to market for, and the tenant buyer is going to come through you, right? So you being in this case is going to be Steve. So Steve is going to choose 1, 2, or more, prospective tenant buyers, and he's going to have a dossier, a resume on those people. And then he's going to turn around and he's going to present them to you, and he's going to sell them, sell you on them. And you're going to either choose one or not. But you'll do it, with your eyes wide open. You'll know exactly who these tenants are. At that point, once it consummates, Steve will let them know that they are now buyers. They're not renters, they're now buyers. So Steve, depending on what type of deal it is going to either step out of the middle of it, and he's going to turn that whole agreement over to the new tenant buyer, and he's done. He's going to collect his fee, he's going to step off. Or if he decides to stay in the middle, now he still remains a point of contact if he's doing the whole monthly payment thing and he structures it that way. So it all depends on how it's structured at the end, whether or not he's going to end up being the person that they speak with. And you'll know all of that. That's full disclosure.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Do we have any questions? Anybody wants some feedback? Greg Allen, how you doing, my friend? It's always good to see you, man.
Doing well, Victor. Thank you.
You got any feedback? Anything you want to inject in here? Any thoughts?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was sitting here thinking how good some of these people are at this and how bad I am at it. Those were my thoughts.
And just so you know, Greg, pretty much everybody thinks that. So don't feel like the lone stranger on that, right?
Yeah, don't even think like that. I'm not even in this industry, but just by being around and listening, going through the role plays, you learn so much. And it's like, okay, you can see how you fit in, because it's about getting comfortable, being yourself, having fun, what I'm saying? Make it fun, because even if like the worst that can happen is no, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the worst that can happen. No. And then you're on to the next,
You're no worse off than you were before you called. You just probably learned something. So every opportunity, I agree, Harv, every opportunity is an opportunity to improve your game. And if you just look at it like that, everything is fine. But yeah, that thought isn't everybody's mind, Greg, believe that.
Yes.
So what did you think of the role play? Did you get some stuff out of it? What did you grab a gem out of there?
Yeah, it's for me. I think it's the key's going to be the repetition.
Yeah,
just doing it over and over again. I thought everybody I heard, and I got in pretty late. I didn't get to hear the one before this last one. I heard a little bit of it. But one thing did catch my attention on the next to last one was what was that comment on Chattanooga? I think Jimmy made it.
On Chattanooga?
About the boo-boo in the house.
Oh, Chattanooga. Oh, yeah, that was our role play.
Somebody took a squat in it.
What about it?
Something about if I live in Chattanooga, would that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You said if I did live in Chattanooga, can we move forward?
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is, if I did, can we? Right? If I put that in there, can we?
Can we? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like a
yeah,
standard.
yeah.
That's like a standard in the guts. It's like,
That's a
okay,
staple.
suppose I could. Can we
Right.
move forward? Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
What if I moved to Chattanooga? Can we?
Exactly.
Right. Can we close on this today? Right. So a few key points. First of all, this was amazing today. You guys did a fantastic job. Everybody who participated, everybody who listened in, you guys are awesome. I learned something every single time that we do this. There's always another little gem that comes across that just basically up the level of my game. So I really appreciate it. All the new people, thank you. Errol Pineda, I don't think we've ever had you jump in, man. You're not going to get away the next time. We're going to get you.
Absolutely, my friend. I want to tell you something. I left a message because I wanted to keep in touch with you.
Okay.
I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit because I was busy trying to make some money, doing some other things, of course.
Okay.
So, but I'm ready to get back in. I figured about a couple of days I'll be back into the program.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think you're doing a phenomenal job, man. I think I really appreciate you, to be very honest with you. And I'm a realtor just like yourself. I just haven't been practicing for a while, but I am a realtor also. And
okay,
I kind of have an idea about all this stuff here, but sometimes I kind of like just don't push forward like the way I need to. And, and it's so good to see that you're pushing forward. That's one of the reasons why I like to keep in touch with you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I really appreciate the kind word, man. That means a lot. That means a great deal. I'm so glad if you guys are getting anything out of these role play sessions, then I've kind of done what I saw as a vision for myself to be able to bring value, some of the things that I've learned, some of the things I'm consistently learning. I've created some partnerships out of this, me and the great Michael Goolsby, we're constantly, working together, doing some things, so I'll be more than happy to work with you, Errol. If anything I can do to help, man, just reach out. Anybody on on here, if there's anything I can do at all, if you need to make phone calls together, if you have some leads that you want to, look, can you get on these calls with me or whatever, make the calls, let me listen in. I'll do that. We do that all the time I do that all the time with different people. So, feel free to reach out at any time. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and share my number with you privately, and that way, we'll take it from there.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You can do it through DM, or you can do it in the private right here on the chat session.
Okay, I'll do it private right now. I'm in South Florida too, so we can keep that,
perfect.
keep that in mind. Okay.
Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Great job, my friend. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. Great job.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Next time, Mia, we're gonna get you. Okay, maybe the time after that.
Okay.
I know.
You guys feel free to reach out anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, and thank you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody has something?
No. Yeah, I had something. I said
next
time I start off tomorrow as a seller, as a buyer.
Okay.
So because I need more practice being the buyer instead of the seller. I know I can be a seller easily. That's not the problem. Being a buyer is the problem.
All right, my friend. I'll remember that. We'll put you on the schedule as the buyer for the next role play session. So you already volunteered, but we ain't never had no problem with you volunteer. So we appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna get better. Even though you fail over and over again until you get it right.
That's right. All right, folks. It's about 5 after 11. Once again, thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out. You guys have a great rest of the week.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.